How about them Cowboys? Angry Cowboys fan, born to battle. Star on our chest means we never sell. America's team through thick and thin. When the star shines bright, that's when we win. Angry Cowboys fan.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And as we get ready for the season finale for the Dallas Cowboys 2025 NFL season, 105.3 The Fan got their final regular season interview with the owner/GM of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones. During the interview, Jerry Jones spoke about the upcoming matchup against the New York Football Giants. He also spoke about starting Dak Prescott during this game against the Giants as well. For what reason, I don't know, but he also talked about finishing the season strong. What I want to talk about is when this interview turned to Micah Parsons specifically. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut, of course. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the clips from the interview on 105.3 The Fan with Jerry Jones.
Well, I wish Micah the very best, and I think a lot, I really do. I think a lot of his mom and family, and Micah just got to where he outgrew our ability to pay him. And he's a great player, and he's going to make great plays. Everybody knows add and subtract and get to 5 for and that's what the decision came down to. I'd love to have Micah on the team, but we just couldn't afford him, and we wanted 4 or 5 players more than we did him. But he's outstanding. I understand his sensitivity and can even understand these comments. But the facts are the facts, and when you just put it on one player, that player can get hurt. And if you've got it on 4 or 5 players, the chances of all of them getting hurt are not there. And so you often don't have those players when you put that high dollar on them. That goes with the risk of putting all that money on one player. But to be real clear, it certainly never was personal with Micah.
It was never personal with Micah Parsons. All right, come on, Jerry. I don't believe that shit one bit. You made it utmost personal when it came to Micah Parsons in that contract situation. But anyway, I'll tell you this, Cowboys Nation. Jerry Jones's cell phone reception only messes up when I actually want to hear what he got to say. Anyhow, on some real-ish, Jerry Jones is keeping it real with this Micah Parsons situation. It's funny as hell to have him talk about Micah's sensitivity, though, Cowboys Nation. Let's keep it a buck. That's what it's over on X. It's all about sensitivity. A lot of these people are being sensitive when it comes to the players that no longer play for this team. I'm sorry, Cowboys Nation, but I'm not one of those fans who would just put up with any type of defiance just because a player is great. I'm more of a fan that would rather have a stress-free locker room. But jumping into the second clip, Jerry Jones is asked if he had to deal with players being sensitive in the past. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that so we can come back and talk about it. Roll the clip.
Have you ever experienced this kind of emotional back and forth with another player in your time, Jerry?
Always. Everybody's very sensitive when you're talking about their finances, and you talk about it. It is like a critique of their play, and I completely understand why it's sensitive to talk about that, and I go through that emotional gambit and have with most every decision that I've ever made that were meaningful. And since I started out pretty slim every decision has been meaningful if it gets over in that financial world. And, man, I could get mad in a minute if somebody tried to charge me more than I wanted to pay for a car. And I'd get mad at them. But after it was over, we hugged and made up, and I drove off with the car, and he put the money in his pocket.
See, that's what Jerry Jones was expecting in that whole Micah Parsons negotiation. Micah to get mad, but then in the end, they were going to hug it out, and he was going to be a Dallas Cowboy again. But I get it, Cowboys Nation. I would be sensitive about my money as well. The difference is that I wouldn't have tried to negotiate my contract without my agent being involved either. I mean, Dez Bryant had the right outlook about it. He asked Jerry Jones if Jerry would be able to guard him. Jerry said, hell no, I wouldn't be able to guard you, Dez. And then Dez asked, and I'm paraphrasing, well, how can you expect me to negotiate a contract with you, Jerry? Not only that, but Dak Prescott said it as well. They made it personal. Being a Dallas Cowboy for 4 years and seeing what Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Zach Martin had to deal with in order to get paid, let's not act as if it wasn't public knowledge as if how Jerry Jones handled the contract situations. Not saying that it's right, but it should have put Micah Parsons on game, shouldn't it, Cowboys Nation? We'll talk about that more during the Raw and Uncut portion, so make sure you stick around for that. Now, jumping into the last clip that I got for you, they asked Jerry Jones about Brian Schottenheimer and if he was successful in establishing a good culture for the Dallas Cowboys. So let's take a listen to that so we can come back and unpack this Raw and Uncut.
Jerry, I feel like if you looked at Shotty's list of things that he wanted to accomplish before the season, establishing his type of culture, and that dog mentality that Kevin was just talking about, that kind of culture in that locker room, build a standard for what he wants from his leaders, the guys that are in that room leading the rest of them, and all those others. Do you think he was successful in establishing the culture he wanted this year?
Well, I think there was culture. Frankly, Mike McCarthy had a good culture out there, and but we wanted more, and we thought Shotty gave us the opportunity to do it. Now, with that in mind, you've got to with the let's say the right atmosphere. And I like Shotty's atmosphere. It's energetic. It's enthusiastic. It represents an appreciation of everybody getting to be where they are, and that's be a player in the NFL or coaching in the NFL. And I think it boded well for us this year. I was particularly impressed with how we handled the tragedy that we had among the team. And I was impressed really with how we came out of training camp, made some adjustments, and I really thought there at about the midway point that we were going to have it together and be in a different spot and be in this playoff. And I'm disappointed. Those things are a product of everyone. Yours truly leading the pack. And we've got to get in here and make the changes that need to be made as pertaining last year and go forward.
Yours truly leading the pack. Man, I like the accountability from Jerry Jones. I'm liking the accountability from this front office. They knew that we struggled on the defensive side of the ball. And really, at the end of the day, it was who they hired. I mean, I'll give the players their critiques and everything like that, but at the end of the day, everybody knows that Matt Eberflus and his scheme was not built for who we had on this team. But I'll be real with you, Cowboys Nation. I like the atmosphere that Brian Schottenheimer has brought to this Dallas Cowboys team thus far. Jerry Jones said that Mike McCarthy had a culture here. I would humbly disagree with that, because if that was the case, his Dallas Cowboys team wouldn't have gone into the postseason unprepared and undisciplined like they did. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Y'all ready for this Raw and Uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Get ready for the angry Cowboys fans, Raw and Uncut.
Keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
All right, Cowboys Nation, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. You know, like I always do. I cannot believe for the life of me that we're still talking about Micah Parsons, Cowboys Nation. This man has not been a Dallas Cowboy for almost a full season, and here we are still talking about him. So let me give y'all my raw and uncut on this situation. Micah didn't want to be a Dallas Cowboy anymore. He spoke about the slander throughout the media when it came to Jerry Jones, but let's not act as if he didn't contribute to that slander, Cowboys Nation. Even us who've never played in the NFL but have gone through negotiations before have the understanding that you don't talk directly to the person who's trying to negotiate with you without the person that you set in place to negotiate for you. The agent gets paid for a reason, Cowboys Nation. You hired the agent for a reason. I don't give a shit if my boss calls me to talk about money. If I have an agent that I paid thousands of dollars to do this, then I'm going to allow him to do his job. You know what I'm saying, Cowboys Nation? But at the same time, it's Jerry's job to try and sign these players with the least amount of damage to his salary cap. So he's going to do whatever he can do to get these players to sign for less than a record-breaking amount. The story is that Jerry Jones called Micah Parsons to discuss his role with the Dallas Cowboys, his leadership role. Micah went to his office and Jerry started talking about dinero. He started talking about money. At that point in the conversation, it should have been stopped. It should have been redirected by Micah Parsons to the dude that he pays to actually negotiate his contracts. I mean, shoot, Jerry and Micah even got down to the specific dollar amount, Cowboys Nation. Also, it wasn't just Jerry Jones that Micah was talking about his contract to. I remember Micah asking the media what the difference between $30 and $40 million was. I don't know about you, Cowboys Nation, but that sounds like Micah was willing to take less to make sure that this team could be built around him. Then, all of a sudden, it was talk to my agent? I can see how that would piss Jerry Jones off because y'all already talked about stuff without his agent. Does it make it right? No. But at the same time, you can't just blame Jerry Jones when you, Micah Parsons, entertain the conversation. Like I said in the previous video, that's like me texting back and forth with a woman, and when my wife catches me, now I'm putting it all on the woman and telling said woman that, hey, I'm married, you can't talk to me, when I should have done that shit from the get-go? On top of that, Micah got to witness the contract negotiations between Zach Martin and Jerry Jones. He got to witness the negotiations between CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jones, as well as Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones. It's not like bro was hit from left field with how Jerry Jones operates in these contract negotiations. Micah Parsons' contract negotiation wasn't the first time Jerry Jones tried to negotiate with a player without using their representation. But let's not act as if Micah Parsons didn't get what he asked for, Cowboys Nation. Him and David Mulugeta asked for the Dallas Cowboys to trade him. They went public with the trade request. I don't know if it was a bluff because they saw it worked for Myles Garrett, but Jerry Jones called his bluff and sent him packing. No pun intended. I was all about Jerry Jones getting the deal done with Micah Parsons because I loved what Micah Parsons brought to this team physically. No one can deny that this man is a dog out on that field. Nobody can deny his play on the field. He's a transitional talent for any organization that he plays for. He's a game wrecker for any organization that he plays for. But I'm a fond believer in wanting a stress-free work environment and would be willing to cut ties with anyone who jeopardized that stress-free work environment. Some fans will be able to put up with any type of actions from players if they're one of the best players at their positions, but I don't rock like that, Cowboys Nation. I won't sit up here and down-talk a fan who believes that way either. People disagree all the time, but it seems that in this day and age, if you disagree, then you're not a true fan or you're soft or whatever. Nah, I'm not like that. We can certainly agree to disagree. But let's not sit up here and act as if the locker room was the best locker room when Micah Parsons and Tank Lawrence was going back and forth with each other. The same thing people say about Trayvon Diggs, talking shit about the coaches and the organization, the other players in the locker room, and tainting their train of thought, was what Micah Parsons was partaking in. During his time as the Dallas Cowboy, there were cliques forming in the locker room. Hero ball was being played on the field. Players were getting tainted, and a football team would not be successful under those conditions. On top of that, even though I wanted Jerry Jones to extend Micah Parsons, after we all witnessed him laying on the injury table during that preseason game, that was the last straw for a number of Cowboy fans, including myself. That showed me that he didn't want to be a part of the Dallas Cowboys anymore. Just like when Trayvon Diggs decided to go against the wishes of the head coach and just stay behind in Washington, that showed me that Trayvon Diggs no longer cared about the rules within the organization and didn't want to be a part of the team anymore. I'm sorry, Cowboys Nation, but you can't have defiance in the locker room, especially coming from one of the people that is supposed to be the leader of your team. Another thing that I don't believe in is talking shit about these players once they leave the organization. Was I hurt when Micah Parsons was traded? Absolutely, Cowboys Nation, because I was a fan of Micah Parsons. I'm still a fan of his play, but I'm not going to trade in my Cowboys fandom to go be a Packers fan. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be a fan of two separate teams either. I wish Micah Parsons well on the next chapter of his career, just like I did with Rico Dowdle, with Deuce Vaughn, DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he took shots at the Dallas Cowboys, Chauncey Golston, Juma Adoga, and so on. What got me was how fans and talking heads continuously brought up Micah Parsons when our pass rush struggled. They would bring up Micah Parsons if the Dallas Cowboys front four left the game without having a sack. All I'd hear was, "Oh, I bet we would have won if Micah Parsons was here." That's what got me frustrated, because there was absolutely no chance in hell of him coming back to the Dallas Cowboys. All I wanted to do was move forward, and that's all I want after his departure as well as Trayvon Diggs' departure. Let's just move forward. But to end this video, Cowboys Nation, not all Dallas Cowboys fans are going to agree with the outcome of the Micah Parsons trade. Not all Dallas Cowboys fans are going to agree with what happened to Trayvon Diggs. I personally believe that Trayvon Diggs could have contributed to the 2026 Dallas Cowboys team if Jerry and Stephen Jones decided to move on from Matt Eberflus, but the antics can't be tolerated. Going against the head coach can't be tolerated. But I wish them nothing but the best where they are now. But honestly, my worries and concerns are not about the past, Cowboys Nation. My worries and concerns are not about another team, Cowboys Nation. My worries and concerns are about the Dallas Cowboys and who wants to truly be on this team. They're about getting this team better so that we can be competitive in 2026. Micah and Diggs, they're gone, Cowboys Nation. We don't have to continue to speak about them, and we don't have to degrade them, because in the end, we all got what we wanted. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Cowboys Nation, how do you feel about the back and forth banter between Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys landscape? Do you wish that they would just get on with it, that they would move forward? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comments section. If you're digging this content and you want to help the channel reach its current goal of 20,000 subscribers, drop a like on the video, share this content with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan, and if you're on your mobile device, make sure you hype this video. Doing so can help the Angry Cowboys fan YouTube channel reach even more Dallas Cowboys fans so we can root on our Dallas Cowboys together. And if you are DC for life and can understand the plight from all parties involved, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release another video, podcast episode, or film breakdowns. You can catch my Madden 26 and College Football 26 gameplay on my new channel, the Angry Cowboys Fan Gaming Channel. I'll put the link to that page in the description. But Cowboys Nation, to see all the negativity thrown around about Trayvon Diggs as well as Micah Parsons, it just makes me shake my head. Just because they're no longer on the team doesn't mean that we have to lower our character to degrade these guys. Personally, I'm going to thank them for their services while being Dallas Cowboys players and wish them the best in their new situation. The past is the past, Cowboys Nation. It's time to move on to try and better this team for the 2026 season. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Hey, I'll see y'all down at MetLife Stadium tomorrow, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys. Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.